Hey guys, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone's good. In this today's video, we'll be going over how to spec as a quantum controller, and I will be giving you my views on why I've spec'd the way I have. So, as any controller, your job is to give power to the group, debuff the enemy's defense, damage output, and healing debuff, which reduces the enemy's ability to heal. Not all bosses have this ability, only a few do, so you don't have to always have your heal debuff in your loadout. Okay, so on my controller I have gone super powered, and I will explain to you why I haven't gone hybrid and why this super powered build is much better than hybrid. Okay, so I have 378 skill points. Going in the super powered, I've maxed out my critical power chance and my critical power magnitude, and I've used up my 225 skill points into might and power to ensure I have the maximum power base, so I can spam more power to the group and give them more power, and then the rest of my skill points I'll put into my vitalization. So let me just give you an example of why using a super powered build is so much better. I can use my powers, and if you notice my power bar on top, it is barely moving an inch while I'm using my powers, and all I'm doing is I'm spamming my debuffs. That's all I am doing. And if you look above, my power bar is barely moving. It's not even moving an inch. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my first power, which is my temporal extortion, which gives power back to the group. So okay, you can see that it's now using slightly more power than my debuffs, but still. Let me go in combat, because power regen is slower in combat. You can see my power bar is still pretty much full. Now let's do my debuffs and use my power spamming. Instant power, that I think that's what it's called. You can see my power bar is, I'm not even using much power, and I can use my debuffs and give power all at the same time without the need to worry about using my weapons to restore my power. So let me go over my stats. So right now my power base, well, you saw it was 60 something K when I was in combat, but that's because of my mods, no, my artifacts. So I'm using Amulet of El. That makes my controller debuffs 20%, 30% stronger because of my rank. So I don't need to use my debuffs as much, therefore allowing me to save more power to give power to the group. And my other artifact is a scrap of soul cloak. So now every time I use my heal debuff, which is my power regen, it gives me that extra percentage of ability to increase my supercharge. So I could use my what is it called again, Event Horizon, I believe. Yeah, so I can use this power as much as I can. So that acts as a protection for the group, and it gives them extra power. And my last artifact is the Parasite's Power Harness. Okay, so every time I use a power, anytime I use any debuff in controllable, it gives me power equal to so much percent of my vitalization to myself and the group. So, and that can stack up to 3 times, I believe. So if I do this and this 3 times, doesn't matter what power debuff I use as long as I hit it so many times. And if I go to my actions menu and go down, oh, it hasn't shown up, but usually underneath here it actually shows our power harness and it tells you the numbers of how much power I'm giving out to the group. Okay, so my stats is 58k power, 12.8k visualization. My dominance is 8.8k. As a controller, you will naturally get your dominance through your gear, so you don't need to worry about that much. But some controllers, they tend to go into dom as well to make the shield stronger, and it helps them when they use their supercharge, which is event horizon. It makes their shields last longer against damage, so it depends how you want to spec. It's totally up to you, but the way I've spec'd is to ensure that I am always at maximum power, so I can always give the maximum power to the group all the time. Especially the healers and tanks are the most important players for the controllers, to make sure they have the maximum power every single time. Because if the healers run out of power, the tanks is the first person that will die, because the tanks rely on the healers to stay alive. And if the tanks run out of power, they lose their what's the word, aggro, and then the boss starts hitting the group, or the ads start hitting the group. Then the healer needs to use more power to heal everyone, and then that puts more pressure onto you to give more power. Then you run out of power, and so on. So there is a massive knock-on effect. As long as you have the tank and healer at full power bar, it'll make your job less stressful. Now, the biggest controversy is DPS. So there are some DPS out there who do not care about controllers. They use power hungry loadouts, which completely drain their own power bar. So if you do come across some such DPS and they say, controller, give me more power, you suck, just ignore them. As a DPS, you should know how to manage your own power bar, right? You can't be using a loadout that's gonna drain your power bar in just one rotation. That is ridiculous. Like, come on. Yes, it might do high damage, but how are you gonna do damage with no power, right? You can't be relying on controllers that much as a DPS, because most of your artifacts give you power stats and might stats, and most DPS are super powered, so you should get your own power back automatically. I would say the best DPS powers are probably precision based, because they are using their weapons all the time and they barely touch the power. They only use the power to get the weapon buffs, and they right back into the powers again, into the weapons again, I mean. So so that's how I've spec'd as a quantum controller. But remember, this build will apply to any controller power as long as you have the skill points. I would say 280 plus skill points will be effective for this build. Anything lower than that, I wouldn't recommend using this. I would recommend going into hybrid, maxing your power chance, power magnitude, and then going into full vitalization and using dual pistols, because as a hybrid build for controller, your right choice of weapon is key, because all I have to do as a hybrid to a controller is tap range, and I will regen most of my power back. As you can see, I'm still hitting the enemy. All I'm doing is holding range. That's all I'm doing. With other weapons you have to click like this, you know, what's the point? Come on, just go for a weapon that's very simple for hybrid controlling. But most people are expecting the superpowered because they have access to infinite amount of power. And before I end the stream, let me just go over the mods I have. So in my weapon, I have my weapon attacks restore additional power. So even though I'm the hybrid build, I'm still using this mod to give me extra power anytime I use my weapon attack. So because I'm using the event horizon supercharge, in my head socket I have used grant 5% supercharge back to you when you use quantum event horizon supercharge. And of course any controller neck mod should be increase your critical power chance by 5% for 6 seconds when you use a group power heal. And the group power heal for quantum is this one here, temporal extortion. I think extortion, yeah, I thought I pronounced it wrong. Now my back mod I have put down reduce the cooldown of quantum time bubble. As you can see, I'm not using it, but in some raids I replace my heal debuff, which is this one here, and as you can see it restores supercharge as well as reducing the enemy's ability to heal. So in some raids you don't even need a heal debuff, so then that is when I will use a extra shield, even though quantum tunnel shields you as well, but we use this as well where I know I don't need a heal debuff. When I know I need one, I simply go back and put that back in. So that's why I have used this in my back mod. And now to my chest mod, I have used power efficiency because every time I use any power, it uses 5% less power. So therefore, as a controller, I can give out more power by using less power. Makes sense, right? And restorative quantum tunneling. So let me show you what it does. So if I press number 5, which is quantum tunnel, it shields me, and if at the time I use it, if I had some health loss, it would heal me as well. And the cooldown for quantum tunneling is pretty quick, by the way, so you can use this as much as you want to avoid any damage or to go towards someone to pick them up if they are in some damage area. The shield will protect you for some time. I'm not saying it will protect you for all the damage, but it will give you enough time to pick that individual up. Okay, so I've gone over this side of the mods. Now let's go over to this side. Nothing for your shoulders. Hands, I've used the normal one, regenerative shielding. Nothing there. Okay, I forgot to put something in my feet. So for the feet mod, I would use explosive block. The only reason I would use that is because, okay, let's say you can see this astronaut in front of me. Let's say this was a elite ad. So if I hold block with this mod equipped, it will send our ad flying all the way on the other side, and it'll save me from dying. And it depends on where you're looking at. What I usually do is I look towards a tank and I hold block, so when the ad gets pushed away from me, it goes towards the tank, then the tank's aggro will keep the ad. So that's why I would use the explosive feet mod for this, and that is called explosive block. And you can see what it says: your blocking counter knocks enemies much further away and increases their helpless duration by up to 1 second. And this you can and there's no cooldown timer for this mod. You can use it as much as you want. So that's all of my mods, and I believe I have gone over my artifacts. I'll just show you them one more time. So that's a parasite power harness, scrap of soul cloak, amulet of vow, and the way I have spec'd is I've gone in, of course I've used vital rune for all of my 4 slots, and I've also got the vital enhanced coral. I haven't had time to level these up yet, but as you can see I have them here. That's the 3 mods. And I'm also using bottled city soda, because as a controller it says it restores 2% of max power to group. And the other ranks are flavor candle 7, 2, 8, 9, 3, and it also gives me 60% of max power. If you look on the top, flavor of candle. So as I rank my bottle city soda up, it'll give me more power power to the group, and give me more power as a normal soda does. So having this is very useful, and you can get this from the Kryptonian time capsules. I believe you need to open up 15 of them, but if you don't have the money, you can just buy this from the space vendor in the watchtower. I'll show you that very quickly, because you have other artifacts there as well that you can buy, which came from the time capsules. So let's head over to the space vendor, which is just over here. Okay, so it's by the booster gold. So if you go here and if you scroll all the way down, and there it is, you can buy that for 25 quark marks, which you get from opening time capsules. And you also have this amulet of vow, which what I was using for my artifact as well. You have all of these as well, solar amplifier for the heat vision, and then all of the other artifacts you can buy from John Constantine.
Bollocks. Do I look like your mum?
How
What are you going on about?
how rude.
Listen, you don't want to.
But yeah, so you got all of these here. You can buy these as well. So I hope this video has helped someone out there who wasn't sure how to spec as a controller. Hope this video has helped you, and if you do have any questions, please do ask in the comments, and I'll gladly help. Before I go, let me quickly check my live stream for any messages, so I can quickly answer you guys before I stop the stream. Let's have a look. Okay, no chat. Okay, so hope this video was useful for you guys, and have a wonderful day. Please comment, like and subscribe, and share this video to whoever you can who might find it useful, and take care.